Are you tired of the same old repairs in your rental property? Obviously, repair and maintenance are part of owning a property and owning a rental property, and sometimes those are a little bit more, but when you have too many of them or the costs are too high, it can definitely cut into your profitability. So I've got some strategies to share with you today on how to keep those maintenance costs low while keeping your property still in top shape. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Sue Richey. I am the principal broker and owner of Richey Property Management here in Northern Virginia. We manage about 1,000 rental properties, and we've seen a thing or two about what we can do to help our owners keep their properties in good condition. Now, being a landlord comes with its share of a variety of responsibilities. One of the biggest ones is making sure the house is well maintained and taking care of repairs when they happen so that you keep your tenant happy. You've got to deal with everything from a leaky faucet to a running toilet to repairing and replacing your HVAC system. Some of these, they're small expenses, some are much larger, obviously, but nonetheless, repetitive repairs can cause a lot of cost and a lot of stress. So today I want to talk about some ways that you can prevent some of the most common repairs in your rental property. Okay, so number one, the first thing I would recommend is doing regular and preventative maintenance. Just like you go to a doctor for your annual checkup so that you can catch things early and prevent bigger problems, you got to do the same thing with your house. So having a service contract, for example, is a good way to have a company come and service your HVAC system twice a year. They will do an inspection, fine tune it, make sure that things are running properly. And if there are issues, you'll know those earlier and you can plan for them later. So if you know that it's maybe on its last legs, you can budget for that and know that maybe in a year, maybe 2 years, you're going to have to replace that system. That's good for you to know that in advance. But having those regular servicing of systems or appliances or the roof or just regular checks on some of those bigger things can help prevent smaller problems from becoming bigger things and turning into bigger expenses down the road. Okay, the second thing you can do to help prevent common repairs is to educate your tenant and provide some guidelines for them. We do a lot of this in our company because there are a lot of things in the lease that are the tenant's responsibility, and we feel like it's our obligation to help show them what they need to do. For example, the tenant is responsible for draining the hose bibs every fall, every spring. We don't want pipes to freeze in the winter, and if they do and they don't do what they're supposed to, then obviously the tenant's going to pay for it. They're not going to like that, but it also causes property damage, and we don't want that to happen. So we provide them with education, with videos. We even offered, we give them names of plumbers who can come out at their expense, but then they know it's done right. That can prevent some other major problems. The other thing you can provide them information on is how to operate appliances properly. What kinds of things to look for? Are the gutters clogged with leaves? Well, if they don't tell you that, you're not going to know that you need to clean it if that's a landlord responsibility. But they need to be able to be comfortable reporting all that, even if it's minor things and it might be a little bit of an annoyance to you. Wouldn't you rather know something earlier and you can make a decision on how to handle it than having them not tell you anything in the first place and it turns into something bigger later? So educating them on the types of things to look for, how to use certain systems, how to change the filters in your HVAC, things like that are going to be really important to help maintain the property. And that is something your tenant can do with a little guidance and education from you. Okay, the third thing you can do to help prevent some of the common problems is to have quality upgrades, use quality vendors for all of your repairs and updates. I'll tell you, we have a common saying that being cheap can be expensive. And what I mean by that is, there are people who just want to save and get the cheapest vendor possible. Well, or the cheapest product or replacement possible. Well, that doesn't always work to your advantage because the cheapest appliance isn't going to last as long as a mid-grade or an even better appliance. So you're going to have to replace that appliance later. Sometimes you get the cheapest vendor, maybe they're not so good and they don't do a really good job, and then you have shoddy work, which causes different problems. So we always say, especially with the vendors that we use in our company, they're not always the cheapest. They're definitely not the most expensive, but for us, they're the most value. They are reliable, they're honest, they'll be fair, and they do good quality work. And they get there when they say they're going to get there. And that is what you want. You want to also look at choosing the types of materials that will last. So carpet, for example, has a lifespan. It tends to wear out quicker than other types of flooring, like LVP flooring, for example, is a great product to put into a rental property. It's easy to clean, it's very durable, it has a long lifespan, and it's a great option. So look for products and fixtures, finishes that are more durable, still look nice and are attractive and updated, but give you more longevity for your money in how long they last, and still attractive enough to, bring good tenants to your property. So while managing a property absolutely has repair and maintenance component, and that probably is the biggest chunk of what you do as a landlord. It's a lot of what we do as a property manager, but you can do a couple of these things, as I said. One, look at preventative maintenance, look at service contracts to help be proactive in your maintenance of your home. Next, educate your tenant. That will save you a lot because they're the ones living there. They can report things that they see. They can do things to help maintain the property. That goes a long way. And lastly, when you do upgrades and repairs, just be cognizant of who you're using and what kinds of products and appliances and repairs that you do so that you get the best quality work, the best value for your money. That will go a long way. So if you live in Northern Virginia and you need a good property manager, we're here. And if you also need referrals to good vendors, good products, you have questions, just reach out. We'd love to know what works for you. Put that in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I hope you will. And if you give us a thumbs up as well, and you can hit that bell to subscribe and be notified every time we put out a new video. But I hope this was helpful, and I hope you'll check out some of our other videos as well on things that you can do to maintain your property, things that lots of landlords deal with on a daily basis. My goal here is to just help educate all the landlords so that you can have the best experience possible. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.